Hello, everybody. We are just gonna give people a couple of grace minutes to get in here, and we'll start off our space. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday today. Excited about the projects this week. Have some music play. Grandpa.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. We can play elevator music, but yes, absolutely 100%. Very excited for this week's Mint. Yes. Hi.
Hey, Lolly. Do you want to sing for us? Do you have a singing voice to carry us through the next minute or two?
Funny you should ask. I actually do.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm predominantly a musician, but don't tell people.
You're predominantly what?
A musician, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In the Bay Area, right?
May or may not be in the Bay Area.
What's the name of your band? Or your music name?
Full docs. We'll talk about that another time. Talk about, wait, what song, do you have a song request? Maybe we can do that until people order.
A song request. Yeah, anything special for Earth Day coming up tomorrow, the day you're all thing about the planet, maybe?
Something about the planet? Let me think if I can. The first thing that came to me might be a little controversial. It's a song by Michael Jackson.
I mean, I still like Michael Jackson, but yeah, I don't know if he's actually canceled or not. That's also another conversation.
Yeah, it's yeah. Let's political. 2 minutes in. Here we go. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. I can't do it. My voice sounds really horrible right now, and we're recording this too.
Well, it's gonna live on forever.
No, really bad. I should have warmed up. I just woke up. Been doing late night talking to people about the project. And that's exciting.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much good to go, I think, right?
All right. Well, hopefully people have been not tuning into my horrible thinking voice that's now immortalized.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for just stargazers to pop on. One thing about Twitter Spaces is to speak, you need to be on mobile. I think a lot of people don't know that. I know my first time being on Twitter Space, I did not know that. But I think again this week you guys may be stuck with me. Shane may join us at the time, but he is building the product, so we'll give him a break right now. But there aren't any major updates. I don't think as far as the protocol or marketplace launchpad goes. There was a bug in Kepler that kind of gave you a looping video, and that was so like small bugs are getting worked out when we see them, especially on the front end.
Small bugs are being worked out. Shane is busy building. He's not here with us. Everybody's tuning in, and we're gonna have a really cool Mint on Earth Day tomorrow. Are we ready to start, or should I keep embarrassing myself? I'm not being left here forever and ever.
I'm happy for you to embarrass yourself, but I think we've given enough giving people some time to get in here, and we can go ahead and jump right. Since so Lolly, since we've already got you on talking, why don't you tell us a little bit about your project, how many pieces you have, how much you're minting for, and the idea behind it, our activity.
Sure. So hi everyone. It's nice to meet you. I'm Lolly. I'm an artist, musician in the Bay Area, and Repop is the project that's minting tomorrow. We're doing 111 pieces. They're all unique pieces, so whatever you mint, that's yours, and no one else will have. The pieces are all physical pieces made with alcohol ink that have been scanned high res with art scanning, and are going to be available on the blockchain for the first time ever. What else did we? The mint price is 3,333 stars, 3333, and yeah, it's my first ever collection on the chain, and I made it. Okay, Ron, do you want to ask me this question? You said you were going to ask me this question.
Oh yeah. Question. We can remember it was I forget what the question was now. What was I going to ask you?
literally one. You see, there was no prep. This is all on the fly. As witnessed by my improv skills. But the one question you did say you wanted to ask me was about what I meant about inspired by. It's in the metadata, I believe. Inspired by and created for Stargaze. So
Right. Yeah. So is this yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, you ask it.
Yeah. So was this created specifically for Stargaze in mind? Like when you heard about the platform, you decided I want to create this for Stargaze, or is this something you had um like in your catalog prior to this?
So this is this yeah, this exactly. It was conceived and made for Stargaze and inspired by the launch of the platform. I do know a couple people. This is like full disclosure, right? But you did make me go through the whole process, and you selected me based on merit, which I'm really grateful for. That I didn't just have a shoe in, but I do know a couple of people in Stargaze, and I was seeing, all of their effort, including Sky Magic. He's my friend who's a Genesis artist on Stargaze. And so for a while I was doing my own crypto projects and art and music stuff, Stargaze stuff was happening around me all the time. And I saw like how much work was going into it. I saw how serious the team is. I saw the like basically like what's developing is a bit of a cult following of a community and really engaged members, and I love Cosmos in general. And so for a while, and obviously like the NFT space is kind of crazy, and for a while I was like, okay, well, if I were to make an NFT collection, what would it be? And I've been doing this medium alcohol ink. I was doing it for a while before and had a couple pretty rough years during the pandemic. And when all this stuff was going on, I was like, okay, this is, if I were to make something, what would I make? And I thought maybe I could do like alcohol ink generative art, or something that would be interactive with the blockchain as well. And as I was experimenting, I realized, and I wanted it also to be authentic. Like I didn't want it to be contrived. I didn't want it to be a cash grab. I wanted to make something that would mean something to people, that would make them feel something, that would make them either remember something or feel something new or inspired or something, feel anything. And as I was experimenting with the alcohol ink and the different substrates, which is the different like types of base, the different papers and materials I was using, I realized that scans, the alcohol ink looks incredible and tells a story in and of itself. And like, because it has all these different layers that are then lit up by the light of the scanner as well, it kind of does create like a new medium. And so all of this was, it was inspired by Stargaze. Like I was experimenting, all of that was with like inspired by the idea of maybe being lucky enough to launch on Stargaze. And it came out really well, really beautiful. And I put it online and started teasing the project, and people, the best thing that could possibly happened, which is that people were like DMing me and messaging in the Discord, which is still in its infancy. That they are responding to it emotionally, and it was selected to be featured in San Francisco at an NFT cafe gallery type place, and there was a big NFT event for it, and it was the same in person as well on these screens. People were responding to it emotionally, and it's like the best I could possibly hope for. And I'm super like I know a tiny bit. I'm not a dev, but I know a tiny bit of the tech and Cosmos and scalability, and just I feel really lucky. I feel like I'm a part of history, and in 24 hours, I'm going to be an official blockchain artist on Stargaze on Cosmos. And I think that that's like a really, really beautiful thing. And it really does. It's definitely a part of my personal history, and it feels like a part of like history in general. So yeah, long answer. Oh, did we lose people?
Sorry, I had it muted. Could you walk us a little bit through the process? Maybe how many steps you go through to create it? Like I'm personally not very familiar with the alcohol ink art process.
Yeah, it's kind of a niche medium. Not a lot of people know about it, even like artists that they're not really familiar with it. But it's a very, so the way I work is actually I have to put like a vapor mask on because the fumes are toxic. And so like I work with goggles and gloves and a vapor mask that's like up to code, not just like a regular mask. So I look kind of like a crazy hazmat person a little bit. And there are different types of paper and materials that you can put alcohol on alcohol ink. And so the inks themselves are alcohol based. And then to move them around, you also use isopropyl alcohol. You can do all sorts of crazy things with it. I didn't do it for this collection, but you can set it on fire. And it's a very flowy, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's a very flowy medium. And basically there are a couple unique things about it. One is like, after I make it, I can take the paper that I used and like wash it. Basically, like I can put water on it and nothing will happen to the ink, right? So it's not water soluble. It's alcohol based. So it moves in a different way. And you can put it on paper depending on the porousness of the paper. Like if the paper has a lot of kind of pores in it, if it's like less slick, the ink will stain more. And you can see that on the different, one of the traits in the collection is a substrate as a trait. The traits are pretty cool. I can talk about that in a bit, but, the more porous the paper, the more the ink stains. The less porous, the more like slick the paper is, the more, the ink will lift off of the paper again if I pour alcohol on top of it. So that can create with different types of paper, different effects, different staining, different movement, different interaction of the colors. And then the other really cool thing about alcohol ink is that, please excuse me, one color has many colors in it, and you don't really know what the colors are until you like lift them with the ink. So you can with the alcohol. So you put ink on the paper and then you pour alcohol on it, and what looks like one color turns into like several different shades of that color. And if you're not careful and mix kind of like non-complementary colors that look good before they're diluted, and then once you pour alcohol on them, have colors inside of them that don't mesh well together, it will give like kind of an unpleasant effect. So,
So you
so
don't know what you're gonna get, right? So it's like a very random process.
Exactly. So like it's random. The more you know, like the more familiar you are with the colors and their individual spectrums, you can kind of like predict that a little bit. But as far as like pourability and like movability of the ink on the paper, like I absolutely have no idea what it's gonna look like. I can control it a little bit depending on the type of paper I use and the amount of alcohol I use and the amount of my dog is starting to play with toys, so you might hear squeaking. But um so that's kind of what happens is it's a very flowy medium. I can say, okay, I'm gonna use this substrate with this amount of alcohol roughly. Like I know for some very like porous paper, I'll use tons of alcohol to get that effect of like what looks like maybe like microscopic slides or kind of algae, some of them like I've heard. And then so I can kind of like gauge that, but for the most part, yeah, exactly. Like I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know what it's gonna look like. And I also was in all these different emotional states when I was making the collection. It's like I'm in crypto, so that's enough to give you emotional volatility, but life happens as well. And I'm an artist, so I get to feel all the things and then emote them. So I was in all these different mental states when I was doing it, emotional states. And then that was also like a really cool effect is it is so flowy that when I'm in a certain state, it can express that. And I don't get to control what comes out. And the only time that it can kind of look really bad is if I'm trying to cover up mistakes or what I perceive to be a mistake. And I forget that this is kind of a very Taoist flowy medium and it's not up to me. Like I'm a co-creator, you know? So it's not really up to me how I choose to make it. It just kind of like goes. So yeah.
No, thanks for the input. And so there are also physical pieces, right? What's your plan for the physical pieces?
That's a good question. So, the way I'm doing it with this collection is that the physical pieces are completely separate than the NFTs. The NFTs, the images that are on the NFTs, they're exclusively on Stargaze. There will be nowhere else on the blockchain. They will never be minted anywhere else online. So that's like separate and original. And then I'm actually going to take some of these turned out to be pretty iconic. Like there's one purple one. It's like a purple and blue one that every time someone sees it, they like, if I'm flipping through a few of the different NFTs and they all like speak to different people. There's one that specifically like grabs people every time. Which is amazing. At least of the ones that I've published, right? Because most of them aren't available yet. And we'll all get to see them tomorrow, which is really exciting. And let's talk about the names in a second too, because that's also like is a really exciting part of it. But the way I'm considering it is that these are exclusive for Stargaze digitally, and then they're also available for purchase. I'm going to be using non-exclusively. The physical originals, yes. Someone actually already bought one. And then they're going to be available for, I'm planning on doing other physical things with them because they're so beautiful, like maybe cards, looking at printing on clothing because it is generating this really cool response from people. And then for future collections, the idea is to do all sorts of fun things like that, especially for, like Genesis repop holders, and rewarding kind of early adopters and community members to do physical NFT stuff as well, or to just like have like anyone who's purchased an NFT will also get a physical component to go along with it as well, be it prints or merch or something. So yeah,
So that's these NFTs are going to be very high resolution, right? What resolution are you accomplishing them at?
So I scanned these all at 600 DPI, and that's the resolution, even like compressed. That should have maintained the resolution. So people should be able to print them, yeah, once they own them. Well, it's like that's the thing that they're interested in doing, and I'm excited to see that. And already someone asked me if they could like make collaborative art with it as well. And absolutely, I think that's like a permission thing and a collaboration thing. But other than that, yeah, I mean that's it. Like they're going on the chain, and you own that NFT, then like it's there. It is. Have at it.
No, thanks a lot. Let's go ahead and hear from Stargazers right now about their project.
Hey,
Hey there, how's it
I'm
going?
on. Going
Yeah,
well.
first time chatting.
Yeah, talk to human voices. It's weird. So I'm Brian, and we've also got Steve on from the team. But yeah, we our project Stargazers is a series of banner format NFTs that have been generated, and the theme is basically just celebrating and uniting the cosmos. Like we've got a lot of elements of different cosmos-based chains that will be generated. And it actually is an interesting story because so Steve's the one that got me into Cosmos initially a couple of years back, and we were both a part of the Stargaze airdrop, and it was really interesting because like being a part of that, it was really cool to just see, and it first put Stargaze on the map for me, and ended up keeping an eye on it and minting some of the early Genesis creators, and then like seeing all the incredible tools that also were put out there. Like, I think Lolly kind of mentioned not being incredibly techy. It's funny. I'm the main dev, and I'm not like I wouldn't call myself a great developer, but like, yeah, I can manage through some pre-built JavaScript libraries and CLI tooling. And the Stargaze tools are just so well done, and like everything about the Launchpad was so well done that I, basically called up pixel artist friend of mine, Moss, who's not on this call right now, but he's the pixel artist, and then I called up Steve, who had gotten me into Cosmos or into Stargaze ultimately to begin with, because he was the one that got me into Osmosis and got me for the airdrop, and we just started kicking around ideas for fun of like we could make something. What would we make that would be cool? And I actually started off with an idea of like PFP swords, but then Steve was the one that came up with the idea to do a banner format, and it actually just started out like, let's make cool banners about Stargate even, and kind of expanded from there as Moss the pixel artist got going. And yeah, it initially started out very much just like we want to make some for fun and put them up. And enough people were kind of just asking us to do more and specific requests for their favorite different Cosmos chains. And so yeah, we eventually started our Discord, and that was only a few weeks ago, which is crazy to think, but it's been a lot of fun to create stuff from here.
Oh, great. Yeah, sounds like you guys started relatively recently, maybe just like a couple months ago on the project.
I think a month ago, which is like kind of crazy to say, but yeah, essentially, like I feel like it's funny. I think I minted a Stargaze Punk, and then immediately was like, all right, this platform is awesome. Like I've used some others, and especially as a creator or just an artistic kind of person. It was one of those things where it was like, all right, I played around with the code. There's stuff out there, but like something about Stargaze just had a different feel that felt like very accessible and well designed and conceived. And so yeah, I was like, basically after Stargaze Punk, I was like, I told Steve, I was like, we gotta get get something on here. And yeah, it came together really quick. We had the couple of us. I mean, I would say that role wise, it's funny because Steve is more the promotion and broad crypto expert. I'm kind of the hack developer, and then Moss is the pixel artist. But the three of us have had a blast a month, which is kind of crazy that it's been that fast. But it's also been really fun.
Yeah, no, I think things move fast in the space. Go ahead.
Oh, the one thing I would add is we started 4 weeks ago. Originally, that first week was, okay, let's do this for fun because we have cool pixel art. We love Cosmos, and it's really easy to build on the Stargaze platform. But once we started getting feedback from others that they wanted to see more banners representing Cosmos chains, and then we started tweeting out to Osmosis, to Kepler, DVPN, and some of the other chains, and they started using our banners. It was validation where it was like, hey, let's move this from just no roadmap and fun to something that can help unite the Cosmos. So that was how we initially came up with the theme, and we have some surprises in store after our launch and after the marketplace launch on Stargaze as well. So that's about it in terms of what I can tease, but there will be more.
Can you tell us a little bit about your trait, and maybe like what other chains are making banners for that people will be able to mint?
Yeah, like the traits, the different attributes for our NFTs and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So our architecture, there's 5 main traits. So they're banner format, right? They're for using your Twitter banner or your Discord banner. But so the backmost is the sky, and we've got like somewhere between 50 and 100 of each of these traits. But the sky, can be anything from Stargaze, Cosmos stuff to very kind of crazy one-off stuff. We have one called Doom Moon that is definitely not intellectually related to any property that exists. But we've got the sky, then we've got, which is like the planet that you're standing on. So those are like the 2 biggest. But then we've also got every one of them has a cosmonaut, like a little figure. So they could just be regular cosmonauts, kind of like my PFP from this account that you can see is like just a little guy or girl that is there. But then there's also some rarer ones too, everything monkeys, apes, dogs, zombies, down to like very sort of rare ones with only 5 or 10 of unicorns, gold unicorns. Then there's ships. So there's all kinds of different ships that are there. And finally, some of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have a landmark, which is like a flag. A lot of them are statue, things like that are there too. And those are, I'd say, some of the most rare elements, because each of those attributes goes from, we put together a pretty detailed framework. I mentioned there's like 50 to 100 of each. And they go from common, which is around 5%. Obviously, we're setting some of these parameters, but ultimately, I'm really interested to see how it all came out. Common is around 5% generation, down to like uncommon 3%, all the way down to like rare, ultra rare, and mythic rare is 1/4% generation likelihood. So especially since this is our first, we're calling it the first federation. These 5,000 banners that are launching, whitelist in 30 minutes and then public mint tomorrow. So these first 5,000 banners, the mythic rare ones might only have 5 or 10 of those in the set.
One thing to add is originally we were thinking, okay, let's focus on the top 10 chains on Cosmos. And then we kept getting more and more feedback. So we expanded the set for those landmarks to include the entire map of zones network. So that's where we got all of the ideas for which chains to focus on, is all the ones that are available to connect via IBC. So we're going to continue that with the second federation. We're still thinking about what other chains to potentially include along some of the surprises that we have in store for people. So we're excited to kick things off later today at 1 p.m. Pacific.
All right, thanks. So I'll go ahead and open it up for any questions right now from people in the audience. There is one on Discord already from Dennels. The question is for stargazers, any other further hints for surprisers down the line?
It's a fair ask. I'll say this much. We've got Moss, who's our pixel artist, has been done with artwork for the banners for a week or so now, other than like one-off requests. And there's more in the works. Will revolve around on wallets rather that hold a Stargazer banner. So I'll say, in addition to the forthcoming federations of more Stargazer banners, there's also some complementary stuff in the works. But yeah, I'm trying to dance around, not saying too much. But long story short, it will be a good time to hold a Stargazer's banner in the weeks to come after mid.
Great. Yeah, thanks for the answer. Anyone who has a question, please ask, speak, and you will be able to answer.
I do wanna. Can I say a couple of things before I forget?
Sure, of course.
Great. Okay, so the first thing is that there's still an NFT giveaway happening right now. And you can win one of 2 NFTs, and you can also win one of 2 whitelist spots. And that's still open till we end the Twitter Spaces, and then I'm going to do the lottery. So if you're here and you're listening, you have a 2x chance. You're going to be counted twice if you do the things that are in the pinned tweet. And it's like a couple simple things, like tag 3 friends, join my Discord, say hi. And then you might win an NFC. So that's available for like a little while longer. So if you haven't done that and you want to enter a chance to win it, then you're welcome to do that. And then I wanted to say a couple things about the traits. Keep an eye out for them tomorrow. Take a look at what's going on there, because there's some cool things, and maybe I won't say too much about it, but there are a couple of things that you might find interesting in the traits. And the names as well. So, yeah.
Any hint on the names you want to tell us? Any one fun name?
Let me think on this for a second. There's one that's called Fedoras in Havana. Yeah, and I'll look at the names now and see what other name you want to share with you. Yeah, let's see if anyone has any questions.
Sure. Yeah, I think we have one speaker on. Your name is B3XRPO. What's your question?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I have a question for the repops. Is there other stuff besides the alcohol stuff that you use? I'm a big fan of like metallic epoxies and other forms of mediums with dyes and solvents. Have you experimented with other things like that too?
Great question. Thank you. So what's on these ones specifically, it's purely alcohol ink, isopropyl alcohol, and then this thing called alcohol pearl, which is, some of them have this trait, and it is a trait, the alcohol pearl trait. So it's kind of more metallic, a tiny bit glittery, and it's featured in some of the pieces. And I haven't, for this collection, it's purely alcohol ink. I will say that I'm working on a broken glass collection now. I won't say too much more, but I'll share something really cool that also has to do with like a purification ritual, which is that you can make white fire with Epsom salt and alcohol, and you can, and also the alcohol inks, you can, as I mentioned earlier, you can actually burn them, and that gives kind of like a really interesting texture. It doesn't burn the pigment; it just evaporates the alcohol. So I'm going to be experimenting with broken glass, Epsom salt, white fire mixed with the alcohol inks in the very near future. Yeah. Also, a couple of things, Stargazers. I love your project. It's so good. I think I tweeted at you last night. I would love to be in the pre-sale because I'm just so excited about your project.
Thank you. Hey, let's do it. And vice versa. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I did have one more question for Stargazers too. I got a whitelist spot. How do we expect to get in on the whitelist?
Yeah, so it's all loaded up. So I think it may be a question for Stargazers, because I think we were talking about our whitelist open 30 minutes. So I mean, we'll definitely start pushing out our direct address. And I think at some point during whitelist, we may also be on a launchpad, although I leave that to the Stargaze team to confirm or deny, although they may be on mute. And also one more thing, just because I was talking a little bit with Steve, there's one more thing that we haven't announced yet that actually is part of the collection, which is that we have 3 what we're calling Cosmic Quest puzzles embedded in the metadata. So once people start minting, you'll notice some, I'll say, irregularities in the metadata, and we actually have 3 prize banner FTs that are one-of-ones that are unique that we've sort of pre-minted and set aside for the people that are able to solve and answer the Cosmic Quest puzzles in the metadata. And some of them, they range in difficulty, but we'll see kind of if people are able to solve them. Maybe they'll solve them really quick and those banners will go, and maybe some of them will stretch out for a while. Some of them are definitely, we think, a bit tricky.
Sorry, I just want to change the subject from NFTs. I want to talk about like the famous orgasms on Earth, and this is one of them.
Yeah, hi, how's it going? I'm kind of thinking about launching my own collection, and one thing I was kind of curious about is how you guys went about promoting your collections and kind of the steps you took on that. I feel like I'm kind of getting there with the artwork, but I have a lot of ways to go with that. Were you guys kind of buying Twitter ads, or giveaways, mostly kind of just being friendly and networking?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in there. So there's a lot of different aspects when you want to promote your project. There's promoting to the Cosmos community, because there's a lot of people in the network. They're more inclined to be using all of these different products. And then more likely than not, they got a Stargaze airdrop. So that's basically the main target audience, right, is the people with stars. And then from there is identifying the type of art that you want to share, figuring out how it will resonate, and then building the community on Discord. I think that's the biggest driver, along with Twitter. So once you have that branding, and you identify your target audience, and then from there, the giveaways help a lot. Getting people to retweet or share is a fast way to get word of mouth. And that was our approach, just from seeing some of the other launch projects, and it really helped us out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it all starts with great art. So that's the main thing. If you have the NFTs are essentially a product, right? And it's easier to sell a good product with a great community. Any other questions, Dan?
That's it. Thanks.
Okay, great. If anyone else has a question from the audience, please ask to speak. There was a question in Discord for Stargazers. Is there going to be a pre-mint, or will there be an instant reveal at mint? I believe it's instant reveal.
Yeah, it's instant reveal. Actually, that was one of my questions. I want to continue to research from a Stargaze perspective for some of our follow-up stuff is the ability to do some of the obfuscated metadata stuff over time. But no, for this one, you will get instant gratification upon mint.
Okay, great. And look who we have. We've got Sky Magic. Okay. Hey, Stuart.
Okay, doing more. You're done. Thanks for having me up. I had a question for Repop. So I was wondering, it seems like a really great project for print, for making prints of these. And I was wondering, like, what is the quality image, if it's print quality, and like how that will owner make prints on their own, or how do you think about it?
Yeah, we did talk about this a little bit ago, maybe right before you hopped on or something. But yeah, I'll say it again. The print the pieces are high resolution. They're 600 DPI, which means that they're pretty high resolution. People are invited to print them once they own them. It's theirs. They can do whatever they want, and the photos are that are uploaded are high resolution and print ready. So. Thank you for asking, and it's a good plug. I'll also say another thing that I forgot to mention about the traits and the names, because I'm on the fence about sharing too much before the mint, because I want some surprises for you. But I will say that as a part of the names, one of the traits is namer, so look out for that tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, great. We had another question from Discord here from Seabiscuit for Stargazer. How many are you giving away for free, and will that airdrop to address automatically?
Maybe you're referring to the follow-up stuff that we said. So because for this first iteration, there's no free giveaways actually. We other than those three that I meant, like the Cosmic Quest one of ones, we did sort of set those aside. But the other 4,997 are all, mintable. Steve and I and Maz have talked about it. Like we're probably going to mint some ourselves, just even at retail, because we don't want to do anything shady. We want to be super transparent. So yeah, even the ones we want, we're going to do there. And then yeah, but for anything follow on roadmap that we're sort of alluding to, that would all be anything that theoretical airdrops or anything that might happen. That would be directly to address the addresses of Stargazers holders.
Okay, great. One question that I haven't really asked the other artists either is that and we've kind of touched on it a little bit with the kind of what Sky Magic was saying. What are the rights that the individuals hold, like the commercial rights to the images? So, Stargazers, do you want to start?
We haven't specifically touched on that either. Most of, for a lot of, I think, as Steve mentioned, like this really started off as like a fun celebration for us. So I think we're going to continue in that vein. This isn't me sort of declaring that it's all up for grabs necessarily, but like, if when we do at some point make a statement, or if that becomes, a question, my guess would be that we're going to err on the side of people being able to have a lot of rights and use it, because ultimately this project for us is really about, celebrating the cool expression and various use cases and things that people are doing on Stargaze and on the broader, Cosmos ecosystem.
Yeah, thank you. Lolly?
I'm here. Yeah. What was the question was about the commercial rights?
Yeah, the right that the individual holds use the artwork commercially.
To use it commercially. Okay. I think I maybe mentioned this earlier, because this is fine art. I think using it in works, all of that stuff would be like collaboration based and permission based. So please ask for my permission. I've been approached by a few projects and people already around this, and I think that like individually, if you own the NFT, please like print it, share it, do whatever you want with it on that. And then if you want to make art with it or use it commercially, please talk to me about it. Obviously, there's some degree of like no control, and like with anything on the internet, right? There's just like no degree of control and in a certain respect. Like once it's out, it's out. But as far as what I would ask is for permission.
Okay, thank you. If we have any more questions, please go ahead and ask. Ask to speak. Another question from Seabiscuit was, how will I know if my address is in whitelist? You will know if you're able to mint in about 28 minutes. 18 minutes here. So that's how you'll know.
Yeah, we also tweeted out a link to check, and then it's in our Discord announcement channel as well. So you can check that spreadsheet, and feel free to just reach out to us if you're not on there. But we did double check, and all the addresses should be there.
Is there a time limit on the whitelist to mint?
Yeah, so we have 23 hours for the pre-sale, and then on Friday, which is tomorrow, at noon, we'll have the public sale.
Noon Pacific for Eastern. Yeah, that's the Freshman Friday standard.
Yeah, time zones get tricky. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you have any more questions from the audience here. You guys are a little. Oh, we got 2 requests here, and they have gone. If you want to request to speak, please ask one more time. I think those vanished. Anything else you guys want to talk about your projects that I may not have asked?
I'd just also say, it's funny because we are a Twitter banner, or a banner format NFT. So for those of you that are on here, if you're going to mint one, especially if you have whitelist, like please tweet it out, tag us, set it as your banner. It may seem obvious, but we highly encourage that. And that's, I'd say, especially for Steve and I, like the thing we're most excited about is seeing what people mint and seeing these out in the wild.
Jab, got a question.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
We could hear you.
Perfect. What's up? How y'all doing? Happy mint. So I'm really excited about this, and I don't know if y'all talked about this before, but what made y'all want to do banners? was it just like a counter art move to like the circles and like PFPs, or like yeah, what was the inspiration behind
Great question. I'm happy to take that. So, the original idea that Brian pitched me was let's do PFP swords, which I thought was a terrible idea. No offense, Brian. But there's so many cool concepts out there for profile pictures already. And the one thing with profile pictures is it's very limited in the amount of art and pixels that you can fit in that box, right? So, I personally have always wanted a banner from an NFT perspective, and whether it's Twitter, Discord, LinkedIn, there were so many opportunities for that weren't being addressed. So we figured that from being Cosmos fanboys, if we could represent our favorite Cosmos blockchains in our Twitter banners and also have it be cool pixel art, then why not? And we think there's a market for it. So that was where we got inspired.
That's so cool. Yeah, I think it's also neat that like I'm just thinking of this that because it's a star, like because it's that landscape, it looks really nice just sitting on top of people's profiles. So great on you.
Yeah, and I'll also share. This was actually kind of fun. Yes, Steve is not exaggerating. He was like very blunt with me about my pretty bad idea, which is really good though because also then Moss, the pixel artist, like we like went back and forth over like over the course of a weekend or so, and he like had a bunch of different ideas in the banner format, and I think Steve kind of hit it on the head, which is like it gives you a lot more real estate for concepts and for different artwork executions. So it was funny to like some of the maybe at some point we'll tweet out some of the other concepts that we didn't go with as far as like layout attributes, stuff like that. But that was a really fun process, like kind of iterating on that idea to explore the banner space. Because yeah, to Steve's point, there haven't been that many. I mean, Multiscapes, which is on Stargaze, was great as well, and I think it was really cool to see. And that was kind of validation too, because we even saw them launching after Steve had brought it up, and I was like, well, clearly you're on this thing here. It's been great to see them doing so well. I love the like recombining aspect of that too. I'm a Multiscapes holder.
Yeah, the NFT banner space is very, very early. So you guys are good. I think only the second one to launch on Stargaze. And like you said, tons of real estate. We have another speaker, AZ.
Hey guys, I have a quick question for stargazers, if that's cool. I was intrigued by the idea of the cosmic quest and the metadata of the NFTs, but as someone and maybe other people who are so technically inclined, how do you do that?
From an execution perspective or from a solving the quest perspective?
Sorry, I should have been more clear. I have no idea where to find the metadata.
Gotcha. So just to clue you in, without giving too much away, when people do start minting in like 13 minutes now, a lot of the trait fields, you'll notice that I guess it's not too much of a secret because everyone's gonna see it in 13 minutes. So you will note that all of our IDs have an extra field called egg, and there will be some information in some of those fields on select NFTs, and kind of piecing that together and using those clues is how one would solve it. But yeah, metadata just meaning it's in some of that trait data you'll see when you actually like click into NFT.
Got it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and one thing to note, for those that are Ready Player One fans, this is where the idea came from. I myself love Ready Player One, but that initial quest to go find the secrets of the cosmos is what we were thinking. So we wanted to make it fun, but also the secret at the end is going to be really cool. So we encourage you to check out the different traits, check out different banners, and then see what you can find.
I have a question for Repop. I noticed on the banner that one of the pieces was very distinctly blue and yellow, and I was wondering if that had anything to do with Ukraine.
Yes, it does. It does, and it's rare, and there's something in the traits that speaks to that as well, and that's all I will say. Thank you for noticing that. That's really
Intriguing.
Sounds like a real one.
Yeah, they are all unique pieces of art, one of one, but they all do have different traits and different rarities as well. So that is something definitely to look out for. And I know that some people had I'm curious to see how this will play out because I know some people have gotten very interested in specific ones and are really hoping to mint or get their hands on it. So I'm excited to see if people are going to try making that happen OTC, like I've been seeing with some other NFTs. They're going to be trading before the marketplace, or they're going to wait for the marketplace launch to try and get their hands on the ones they want. This is going to be fun. It's going to be really cool to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it'll be very fun. Excited for Friday and in a couple of minutes for Stargazers here. We are coming close to an hour. We have another couple of minutes left, though. If anyone wants any other questions, speak now or happy minting. Oh,
Yeah, and if anyone has a question, they don't want to speak with their voice, you can write it in the Discord, and you have about 10 more minutes to ask a question and say hi in the Discord and get a chance to win one of the Repop NFTs. So putting that out there as well.
well, yeah, I think we're good on questions for right now. So happy minting, guys. Thanks again for space and showing up. Excited for tomorrow.
Thank you so much for hosting us. This is true.
Yeah.
I'm starting. Good luck. And thanks. Someone reached out to me. I'm going to be sending my wallet address imminently, and I'm going to hop on your mint in a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Steven. Thank you for everyone who is here, who's listening, who's here so early in the space. It's really cool, and we're all doing something together, and it's really exciting. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining. All right. You all have a great day.